Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to start that over because my fucking mic wasn't on. Well, okay. You got a whole minute of silence. The following content is provided as educational and entertainment purposes only. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments, as I am not a financial advisor. Any and all content provided by me contains my own speculative opinion on the market. As such, this content should not be used to make trading or investment decisions. The market is extremely volatile, and the decisions you make should be based on your own due diligence. If you should make a trade or investment decision based off the speculative content that we provide, this disclaimer legally relinquishes me from any and all responsibility. Past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Trading in any market is extremely risky, and you should conduct your own research and analysis prior to making trading or investment decisions. Let's try this again. Well. Welcome back, everybody, to another Blackfire live stream analysis here. Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. In a very stormy and really just wet and loud and thunderous Tuesday evening here in Ohio. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are enjoying this incredible heat followed by incredible storms, whatever, if you're living in the area. I sure am enjoying it. I happen to just absolutely love cataclysmic thunderstorms and lightning and hail and winds and all that stuff. It's kind of something that I typically look forward to here in Ohio. But again, I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today, we have a lot of requests. We got a lot of requests in the Facebook group here. So today's stream actually could be much longer than normal. The way it's looking, the way it's looking and the way that I want to conduct analysis today, it is looking like today could possibly be one of my longest streams. So if you're watching, if you're one of those TA nerds just like I am, stick along, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. The support is very appreciated. Again, I don't want to be like a clout chaser forever. I just want a base audience that I can interact with and learn from. At some point I do plan on hopefully obtaining some members that have vast technical analysis and market knowledge, far surpassing my own. I'd like to, pick the brain of those who have been involved in the market a lot longer than I have. So growing the channel is extremely and vitally important for the group's health. So if you have any friends, any family, anything like that is showing any kind of interest in, earning more money, obtaining financial freedom, living the American dream, living, actually free and happy, yada, bring them into the channel. We'd love to have you guys, subscribe to the channel, and we'll get you a startup package and an invitation to the Blackfire Technical Analysis group chat, which has been a little dead for a couple of days. Aside from a couple of conversations, I am looking for any kind of ideas that would maybe spark up the conversations that we're having in there. I'm thinking because maybe I pulled out from doing the daily typed analysis, the conversations have seemed to die down a little bit. So maybe I should bring that back. Let me know in the comments. If I should bring the typed analysis back on the Facebook channel. And if I get an outstanding number of votes, I'll go ahead and start doing that. I'll launch that back up and make sure that we're getting everybody involved and everybody to start interacting and asking questions and talking about technicals in the group. That's the whole goal, is for it to be just one colossal learning center for me and everybody that's involved. Again, I want to include myself and interact with any kind of subscribers that we have, anybody that's interested in having such conversations. Again, that's just the general outlook of what I want to do with the channel. So without further ado, I'm going to take a sip of this water. Talking so much has already got me dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. And wouldn't you fucking know it? That TA mumbo jumbo. Man, I tell you, it just doesn't fucking work. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work. Look at this price action that I actually didn't see coming. No, just kidding. Saw this coming. Technical analysis works like that. So, What did we see today for NASDAQ? Not this candle here. Yesterday's candle closure here. Actually, on open, we saw a little bit of a pullback. Test that 1.414 breakout region here as new tentative support. I would confirm this as a test and confirmation of support, and basically price action just lifting further above the 1.414 again. I'm not looking for a straight shot to the 2.272 Fibonacci extension zone around 15,000 or anything, but the way that price action is moving right now, there is a little bit of evidence that we could just ebb and flow on our way up to that $15,000 region here. Again, that is the next target after a confirmation break and a confirmation of support at the 1.414. A little bit of a pullback would not be out of the question. We do actually see momentum waning slightly here from a stochastics perspective. But at the end of the day, deep in that critical zone. I am not looking for any kind of reversal until shown, until proven otherwise, especially from a stochastics perspective. Above that 80 read and remaining above that 80 read for quite some time here. Basically, since this top and this bottom was printed here, we've just been carrying it onwards and upwards. Now, again, a little bit of a pullback that would not be out of the question. Maybe print a higher low. Again, we have not seen a higher low in this structure since the 15th of June. So, in my opinion, a little over a week of extending to the upside, we could be looking at some pullbacks here. Oh, you know what? I did forget something. I forgot to open up my moving averages here. Again, my charts are always going to be different because outside of the streams, I play with a whole bunch of stuff. Red 10 simple, yellow 21, green 55, 89, 200, 377. We're good. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Even a pullback all the way to this region here for NASDAQ, 14,330 would not be out of the question. Test a red 10 simple. We can see how far price action is above all the moving averages here, and we see the growth that the moving averages are showing here. Basically just curving very strong to the upside. Excuse me. Excuse the poor English today. I'm a little excited to see this price action. For now, I'm not really looking for any conditions unless the pullback decides to break the red 10 simple. And if that condition is met, I would look for a back test all the way back down to 14,200 roughly, give or take, 10 or 15 bucks. But that would be a general target to the downside if that condition is met. For the upside, there are no conditions. The only condition is breaking the 1.414, and that condition was met on yesterday's candle closure. It was actually confirmed as support. It was actually confirmed the day before and confirmed as support on yesterday's candle closure here. So for now, I'm just going to be continuing to look for extension further higher. Where? Beats the hell out of me. I mean, look at the fibs. I look at all the space between the 1.414 and the 2.272 here. I mean, this is just, in my opinion, blue sky territory. Acting like it's in a little bit of price discovery territory here. So again, a pull all the way up to that 2.272 would not be out of the question. 15,080 bucks. It's kind of the target that I'm looking for the medium term. The next couple of weeks, unless proven otherwise. RSI still gaining momentum here. Finally breaching through the bottom side of that bullish control zone, continuing the uptrend that we're seeing here, obviously printing new highs as a result. I can't be bearish on anything that looks like this. Long-term structure still maintained, 3.123, boom, to the upside. I love this chart. I absolutely love this chart for more continuation to the upside. I always do that. I always fuck up. I didn't even touch it, and good God almighty. Didn't even touch it. Again, I do like this chart for continuation to the upside. I have no reason not to think it won't keep continuing to the upside. And again, I will remain biased towards the upside until proven otherwise. We'll go ahead and move on to SPY futures here. I believe this one continued to new all-time highs as well. But again, I'm still raising caution to that weakened momentum that's being shown here. Now, again, I did argue the fact that you could, again, because I did my Fibonacci extensions off of this lower wick here on this base low set right on the 12th of May here. And that's kind of where I put my zero read for the extension. And we do see a closure back above this region here, confirming as support. I do like that. I have no reason not to think, not to think that we won't see continuation to the 1.414 Fibonacci extension zone right around 4,300 bucks. But here's the ticker. Here's the ticker. RSI is actually showing lacking momentum here. We're still not printing new highs while achieving these new all-time highs on ES1. Now we're basically playing on the RSI resistance here, and I'm not saying that it couldn't break. What I am saying though is if we do see SPY futures turn to the downside, especially a test towards the red 10 simple, we likely get a top call, and that top call will be confluent with a lower high structure and bearish divergence to be called on the RSI. Again, a lower high on the RSI while price action is printing higher highs typically results in bearish divergence. Well, not typically. Anytime you see it confirm, it will confirm as bearish divergence. So during this uptrend, this is once in a lifetime type of uptrend here. Again, achieving more new all-time highs. Anytime an asset achieves new all-time highs, I always bring to awareness that pullback potential. Again, pullback potentials, especially meeting critical Fibonacci extension targets here, especially this one at the new all-time high. A pullback to that region is kind of expected. A pullback a little lower has to be on the radar too. Again, we're trading above all major moving averages. The last structural high or low was this region here at 41.44. You take with it as you will. For now, the conditions are essentially the same. I am looking for continuation to the 1414. Again, 43.10, give or take a couple bucks, unless we break back below the breakout point here, 42.80. Any kind of daily candle closure below that region, I'm going to be looking for a pullback all the way to the red 10 simple or the prior all-time high, right around 42.50. And I want to keep the conditions tight. I don't want to get into any hindsight trading here today because I actually have long-term analysis to conduct. I do believe for the first time, which I'm pretty excited about. Let me know how you guys think that is. A couple of requests for some longer-term analysis on some of the requests is something I'm going to be doing today. So for now, again, same kind of conditions that I'm looking for on NASDAQ, I'm going to be looking for on SPY futures. One spot 414 Fibonacci extension zone is going to be my next target to the upside, unless proven otherwise. And proven otherwise would be seeing a candle closure below the breakout point, confirming a new high. And then a back pull, a back test of the red 10 simple would be my first target. It wouldn't be my only target, but it would be my first target. And I'm always just, trying to keep it as tight as possible as far as targets are concerned. So we'll go ahead and move on to Dow Jones. I'm curious to see if that was a lower high. Consolidation. I did bring up the point of potentially seeing consolidation starting to play out here. That very well may be the case. Again, we're still in the context of these two horizontals here, remaining above the yellow 21 moving average and remaining below this horizontal resistance level at 34,450 here. And the conditions remain the same as yesterday. Essentially, consolidation could be very likely. We do see a little bit of evidence of that in the RSI here. Consolidation. We did get that top bearish divergence call, but it didn't seem like it played out that strong. It must be just a little bit of a weak call here. We do see the momentum to the downside was very, very weak. Positive exponential on the RSI being supported currently. That is confluent with potentially seeing more consolidation play out. Again, it wouldn't be out of question to see a little bit of consolidation, a break through this resistance here to print a higher low before launching to potentially the all-time high resistance and potentially new all-time highs. But for now, we remain in that consolidation range until one of the following two conditions are met. Any kind of daily candle closure above 34,450. I will be looking for extension all the way back up to the all-time high resistance, right around 34,800, give or take 10 or 15 bucks, something around that realm here. And on the other side, any candle closure below 34,200, I will be looking for a pullback. Level by level, I'd be playing moving averages at this point. I would be looking for a red 10 simple, likely the green 55. Again, this resistance directly correlates with the yellow 21 moving average here. So any candle closure below that one, I automatically have to go to the green 55. But again, even remaining above this low here, we could see a higher low print. Well, actually, it's this low. Actually, I need to move that up. Whoa. Boom. There we go. This would be my, any candle closure below this region, 34,200. My pullback region, my next target for the downside would be this region here at 33,900. Give or take a couple bucks again. But same conditions as yesterday, not too much to update, nothing too out of the ordinary right now. We didn't see any major breakouts or breakdowns. Maybe potentially seeing the beginning stages of an order block here. Maybe I can go ahead and... I haven't done this at all on my stream. Put a little bit of an order block right here. Because this could be a potential breakout zone or a breakdown zone. Again, as long as we remain in this box, I will be looking for more consolidation until either the upper level breaks to the upside or the lower level breaks to the downside, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. Actually, stochastics printing a lower low. Yeah, it does have a rejection of the bearish control zone here, back into the bullish neutral zone above the midpoint. I actually want my midpoint. I want to start bringing that into play. Yeah, back above the midpoint. It does look like the exponential is back above the midpoint as well into the bullish neutral zone here. But for now, as far as stochastics is telling me, seeing a little bit of weakness when in doubt, zoom out a little bit, seeing a little bit of weakness, a little bit of evidence of that potential consolidation to continue playing out. Again, as long as we're in this blue box territory here, I have no reason to think of anything else outside of that, unless again we break the upside level or the downside level. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave Dow Jones. Let's take a look at Dixie here. What did Dixie do? A little bit of a pullback after that continuation drive yesterday. Actually, we saw broken resistance yesterday, and the target after that resistance broke being met. What the hell am I looking at? Man, that red 10 simple hides this candle like perfectly. You can hardly see that candle closure, but we got to break above that resistance. We actually met the target of 92.16 and a little bit more, but close enough is close enough. Target has been met. A little bit of a pullback, a little bit of show of resistance upon that level being tested here, and a little bit of pullback as a result. However, my bias is still the same on this one as far as looking for potential continuation. Now, seeing this level break here at 92.16 is going to be the next condition. If we see that level break on a daily candle closure basis, I will extend upside targets to the 92.30 region, and anything higher than that is going to be potentially exciting, because anything higher than that, then we're going to be creeping closer and closer to that, that macro structural lower high that we've been talking about for quite some time. Again, not getting into any hindsight trading for this one. We all know it's fucking downtrend. And it hasn't been proven as an uptrend since it's been in a downtrend. And any arguments that try to tell me that it is in an uptrend are going to be devalidated on my channel. A downtrend is a downtrend is a downtrend, and this one's a long-term downtrend. But for now, as far as this one's concerned, again, yes, I am looking for more continuation to the upside. We do see a little bit of resistance, again, at the bottom side of that bullish control zone. It's acting real tough right now with resistance, but we are seeing RSI continue to climb. These little right? We're seeing it just stair step real slowly up into that region, and the same principle applies with RSI resistance as price action resistance, right? The more we see up pressure towards a resistance, the more probable it is to break to the upside. So that's kind of how I'm viewing the RSI right now. Yeah, we are creeping up on it. Yeah, we are failing to get back above this region for multiple days since this high was printed. But we're still putting that upside pressure here. We're still seeing momentum rise a little bit, and this is another decent signal that I like to see, that coiling action between the bullish control zone, and this was actually a little bit of a fake out again, and that's why you have to use indicators in confluence with price action, momentum, volume, RSI, and a couple of other indicators, because this signal here, hindsight, when you saw it like that, maybe it told you to sell, right? Because I always mention when you get that kind of signal with follow through to the downside, it's a good signal to pull out. This is a little bit of a fake out being confirmed here as a result. We do see the stochastics exponential reclaiming a positive slope here, stochastics breaching back into that bullish critical zone. Exponential looks like it's getting ready to do nearly the same, and any upside price continuation. Actually, I would say any closure above this support remaining 91.90 will actually tick that exponential further to the upside. And that would just be more evidence of bullish control as far as this asset is concerned. Now, again, the targets to the upside are the same. Any break above this prior high here, 92.30, I'm going to be looking for extensions all the way back up to 92.93, give or take a few pennies. and any downside break below this region here, 91.68, and I'm going to be looking for a much more extreme pullback, only because again that that lower high structure will confirm again as a lower high, but. Things are exciting for the Dixie. Things are exciting for the U.S. dollar right now. Big things to potentially come for this, and where big things potentially come from the U.S. dollar index typically results in poor things happening with the rest of the traditional stock market, and most definitely the cryptocurrency market, which we're going to get to right now. I do want to get into Bitcoin. There has been a lot of what do you want to say? Separation in the group from cryptocurrencies. There have been talks of a few here and there, but the group is kind of pulled away from the cryptocurrencies. Things getting real fucking red in your faces, and all of a sudden people's tails get a little tucked in between their legs. They get a little scared. It's okay. It's okay, James. It's okay. We're here. We're here to help you. That's what technical analysis is for. Profit on the upside, profit on the downside. We're here to make it all better and take all your dreams away from you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get serious. I'm actually just trying to have a good time today. Go ahead and looking at Bitcoin here. Again, we do see a higher high confirming here. A little bit of a change of behavior. Again, is this a massive change of behavior? Not by any fucking stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. But a change of behavior nonetheless. We did get a little bit of a breakout back above the yellow 21 moving average here. Now this perfectly correlates with what I was talking about on Facebook earlier today. We have that death cross, and I want to highlight it for everybody so that everybody can at least try to learn the fundamentals of a death cross, right? Let me get my little tool out. Let's get the little brush. Here's your death cross. Oh, shit. Let's go to a different chart. Maybe this one. All right, so we do have a death cross, right? And I'll go back to my other chart here in a minute, but we have this death cross, okay? And we're starting to see price action pull up, right? Remember what I was telling you guys. If you guys pay attention to the stream, here's your death cross. A death cross isn't confirmed. Okay, let's explain where the death cross is first. The death cross is when the green 55 moving average, a lower period, trades below the purple 200 moving average, exponential moving average. They're both EMAs, higher period. So the 55, the lower period, is trading below the 200, the higher period. Once that cross initiates, that's a death cross. Now, it doesn't become a confirmed death cross unless we see price action pull. Well, first off, it's not confirmed a death cross until, number one, we see that death cross, the green 55, diverge further down and away from the purple 200, right? You got to see that divergence. You got to see the strength in the downtrend increasing with the moving averages. So we're getting a little bit of evidence of that divergence right now. Checkbox number one. Checkbox number two. What are we looking for? We are looking for a pull of price action into that death cross. Now, it doesn't have to perfectly come all the way up and touch, either the green 55 or purple 200. Close enough is close enough, but we're gonna want to see price action pull into that death cross. That's checkbox number two, and checkbox number three. We're gonna want to see price action reject all the way back down with follow through on high volume. Okay, death cross is confirmed. 3 checkboxes. Checkbox number one, you have your cross. Checkbox number two, diverging further apart. Checkbox number three, price action pulls further into that region, into that cross, and rejects. Yes, theoretically, I was asked questions on this earlier. Theoretically, you could see price action close above. Yes, you could see price action close above and reject, and you would still have a death cross. Where the death cross is averted and unconfirmed is if price action... Oh, shit. I'm all sorts of jacked up. Is if you see price action go back above that death cross, right? Back above the purple 200 moving average and continue on, forcing that green 55 back to a positive slope and back above that purple 200 moving average. Then and only then will the death cross be unconfirmed, unvalidated. For now, it has a little bit of validation. We have a couple of those checkboxes. Right now, I am looking for price action to officially pull into that death cross, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. So we did see a closure above the yellow 21 moving average, which puts into my perspective a potential target of the next moving average here at around 39,300, give or take. give or take, couple bucks. This major pivot point right here is going to be the next target. We can see the green 55 in correlation. Excuse me, I got a dry mouth like a motherfucker. All this talking. Again, we do see that green 55 almost perfectly in line with that resistance level here, and we do have a little bit of a breakout being confirmed. Now, today's price action, obviously and very evidently pulling back. But in my opinion, broken resistance flips to new tentative support, and typically when we do that, I'm always on the radar of looking for pullbacks to test as support, and we do see that right now. Unless this region breaks today, I'm going to be looking for continuation for now up to this region, and any candle closure above that region. Even up to this region, even up to 38,285, 38,300. If we go up to that region and reject back down, that will be a confirmed test from my perspective of that death cross. Obviously, that's a pretty significant price distance away, maybe $1,000 away, but close enough is close enough. If we see that downtrend in continuation further to the downside after getting close to that death cross, I will in my books for my own trading strategies confirm that fully as a death cross. And as a result, I will be looking at this market from a bearish perspective until this bitch flips back to bullish again. You know what I'm saying? So for now, looking at a pretty significant dump off right after that pump to the upside above the yellow 21. Again, even a test lower with this candle wouldn't be out of the question. But as long as we hold that 34,660 region here, I will be looking for further upside price action, pulling into that green 55, that death cross as a result. Looking at the RSI, what do we see? Still that fucking weak bullshit, right? That weak stuff, right? We're seeing the bears have control. We have that much evidence on a daily chart. We know the bears are in control. We haven't escaped the bearish area. I know we're in the bearish neutral zone, but below the 50, fucking bearish in my opinion. That's how I'm looking at it, is that the bears have control right now of this market. And we do see the exponential reclaiming a positive stature here. Looking at a little bit of a back test, I'm going to be looking for that to hold as support, and RSI to come along with price action back to the upside towards those resistance levels. But I'm looking for rejection. I'm looking for that green 55 to reject price action back to the downside. Now, does it have to happen that way? Am I going to be right? I don't even know. I can't tell you the answer to that for sure. All I know is that that's what I'm going to plan for, is a rejection of the green 55, because I do think the cryptocurrency market is finally starting to take a turn after this absolutely disgusting bull run that we got to witness, followed by that Wyckoff distribution that printed, I don't know what, 3 new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, those are simple conditions. I'm not looking to do any kind of super advanced analysis. The only analysis I need for right now, for my own positions, for my own perspective, is that green 55 purple 200 death cross. I'm looking for that death cross to be tested, and I am also looking for it to break and maintain above that region. But right now I'm leaning towards the more probable, and with the evidence that we're being given, all the bearish control, the evidence is leaning towards a pull into the green 55 and most likely a rejection of that green 55. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I like to provide complete transparency on what I am planning for my own trades and my own positions, so that at least I can try to teach and give insight to other traders. That's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for price action to continue, yes. Very bullishly, no. I'm looking for that rejection. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave Bitcoin. I think it's time to get on to requests. What do we have? We have a bottle of fucking water. All right. Lots of requests today. I'm actually going to... A lot of these we've seen on the stream before. Oh, man, I think my lady just got home. Tis an early night for her. I don't have any viewers anyway. Give me a minute 60 seconds. I'll be right back. No, probably another 30 minutes. All right, I'm back. Sorry about the wait, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on to our first request here. What do we have? GSAT. Global Star Incorporated. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right, so what do we have? We have potential rejection from a stochastics perspective of the top side of the bullish control zone, which means potential downside. We do have a confirmed lower high, and no, we don't. I don't know why this wasn't printed as a high. Why wasn't this printed as a high? That is confusing as fuck. Oh, you know what? Maybe if price would have closed here. Okay, all right, that's valid. So we don't have a lower high. We actually just have a high. Which is confusing. Here's your low. And still bullish. This is fucking... This should be a high. The reason why I immediately got concerned. Here's where I'll tell you why I got concerned, right? We got one rejection, boom, of the bullish control zone. Now looking at two rejections, boom, of the bullish control zone here. And we do see that effect on that moving average, that exponential for the RSI, right? We're starting to see a lot of significant momentum as far as pressure to the downside is concerned on that RSI exponential here. And a cross would not be good in my opinion. What I'm actually going to do here... Yeah, that's valid. What I'm actually going to look for, this is going to kind of be like a little bit of a soft condition here. Any kind of daily candle closure below 1.73. I'm going to be looking for a soft pullback to this region here at about $1.64. And the $1.64 region is kind of like my hard target. If we do see a break of that region, I'm going to be looking for a higher low somewhere above this region here at 1.35. If this is to maintain a bullish stature. Again, we are in an uptrend. I cannot disagree with that, but. Do we have a pattern? Do we have a pattern? Oh boy. See, I want to start playing with more of this shit, right? I gotta. So we do have a pattern. What kind of pattern is it? It looks like a rising channel. It looks like a rising channel here, potential pullbacks. Yeah, look at that horizontal lines perfectly with a higher low structure here at about $1.35. Again, if we do see a break below that region here at $1.73, from my perspective, that would be a little bit of a tell of, hey, this might start turning around a little bit to the downside. Now, would that make it bearish? No, not at all. But we do have a rising channel here, and statistically speaking. Actually, let me pull out the statistics for this. I do have rising channel, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handle. Flags and channels are the same thing. Criteria for bear flags. Rising channel coming off of an active downtrend. Do we have an active downtrend? Coming off of an active downtrend, right? We need to see a rising channel coming off of an active downtrend. Boom, there's your downtrend. In the current downtrend, the bulls are trying to bring it back up, but the selling is staunch until the bulls give up. Rising channel should have a well-defined diagonal support trend line up and a well-defined diagonal resistance line up. Measured move crafted with a trend line from the top of the flagpole. Last formation high before downtrend continuation. At the bottom of the flagpole, point at which the rising channel formation begins, the move of the measurements to the breakdown point for ballpark estimate of where the move will potentially land. Let's see if I can find the statistics about that. So we know what the rising channel is, or bear flag. No, I'm in the divergence. Why am I in the divergence? Come on, give me statistics. Give me statistics. Ah, there we go. Double top. 67%. 67% hit rate for rising channels, bearish rising channels. And this, in my opinion, I can't believe I didn't notice this before, is a bearish rising channel. Now, again, it doesn't have to play out that way, right? It doesn't have to play out that way. Not at all, actually. It doesn't have to play out at all. But if we're going to get a measured move, let's go ahead and do that right now. Top of the flagpole to the bottom of the formation. Oh boy. That can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be right. Wow. That's cataclysmic failure. That can't be fucking right. So that's why we're all here, guys. That's why we're all here. We're all here to learn and play with trial and error and figure out what works and what doesn't. But top of the flagpole, top of the high of formation is right here. Or maybe I use this. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. All I need to know is that if this structure fails to the downside, right? We're looking at the $1.35 region. We're looking at one spot 35 here as basically the higher low potential here for this asset. We do see this rising channel holding diagonal resistance very, very well along this structure here. Any pullback to that region, again, if this critical level here that I'm looking at, $1.64 is broken, any kind of pullback to this support would not be out of the question at $1.35. That would have to be a very, very, very valid target in my opinion. Now, anything below that $1.35 region on a daily candle closure basis will be a break of structure in my opinion, and downside moves would be the first target at about $1.14. But you know, a little bit of hindsight trading, yes. But am I looking for that right now? No. What I'm actually looking for is a little bit more of a pullback, potentially to the bottom side of this channel here. That would not be out of the question. We do have our top. The top is confirmed. It's not to say that we couldn't see a double top. You know, like in this one here, we saw rising tops before continuation to the bottom side of that channel here. Before basically consolidating and rising back up to the top of that channel. But nonetheless, that's something to be aware of, that this is a bearish formation. And again, it doesn't have to play out that way. It doesn't have to play out to the bearish side as a bearish formation. It can, you can see patterns breaking any which way that you could possibly imagine. But for the sake of argument, this is a bearish channel, and any kind of pressure to the downside, in my opinion, is gonna be a little bit worrisome as far as the structure of this upside channel is concerned. Now, if we decide to continue up higher, this channel could very well break up to the upside. Any closure above $2, and I'm going to be looking for extension all the way up to the prior high, right around $2.50. Now, that would be, in my opinion, resolution of this channel to the upside, and this channel, in my opinion, would no longer be valid. I would delete it, and the channel would no longer be a topic of discussion as far as the formation is concerned. But the formation is valid. I'm looking for the bottom side of it. To be quite honest with you, we do have a top, and we do see waning momentum, looking like it wants to start putting pressure to the downside. So that's where I'm going to leave that one. We'll go ahead and move on. Been on that one for a hot minute. AHT continuation. Ooh. Continuation. We do see RSI breaking that structure here, confirming yet another lower high in this. It's first lower high. Once the first lower high is confirmed, I'm going to be looking for a lower low. And if we get a closure below this region here at $4.50, lower low will be confirmed, and I will immediately go to a downtrend perspective for this asset. Now, it's not out of the question to see a bounce off that purple and see continuation to the upside, maybe see a higher high, but at the very least, I need to see a closure back above, $5, back above the yellow 21 moving average here. If I'm going to be convinced of any kind of potential higher highs being printed on this formation here. But as far as the price is concerned, now I am looking for downside momentum to continue. We do see stochastics really just continuing to gain that momentum to the downside, fully entering the the bearish control zone here for this asset, looking for continuation down. RSI breaking that that uptrend structure here, no longer valid in my opinion. RSI looking like it wants to print newer lows. You know, you could easily adjust it here, and it would be equally as valid, but I need to see a spike up. I need to see a spike up if I'm gonna be convinced of that. For now, I'm gonna move it to where it was and consider that a break of structure on a candle closing basis, looking for continuation further down. Any closure below this region, I'm gonna be looking for a full pullback all the way to this region first and foremost at $4.03. Maybe a bounce along that way, but ultimately, you know, really, I would start targeting, you know, the Cyan 89, maybe even the 200 simple here, right around $2.95, maybe $3. Little hindsight trading, but that's, you know, that's if we start seeing a downtrend really playing out. Those are potential targets for the future, for future price action for AHT. So go ahead and move on. SNDL. I can't type today. And what do we got? Sundial Growers Incorporated. Okay, still holding support at 95 cents. Not bad, not bad, not bad, but the momentum is waning, right? We do have a breach of that neutral zone here from a RSI perspective. We do see that the RSI is just negative here. So, you know, that damn, I can't talk. That applies. We did see a little bit of a test up to that negative exponential reject on today's candle closure here, and a breach below the midpoint here into the bearish zone, more or less. And I will be looking for continuation to the downside as a result. And more to the point, any closure below 94 and a half cents will confirm that downside movement for me, all the way down to this target right around 88 cents. But likely lower. Again, we do have, you know, a lower high, and this one's confirmed a lower high in a sleuth of lower highs. We got our ultimate top here, followed by a lower high, followed by another lower high, and then a low printed, and then another lower high. And this high being lower than all of them. There is no change of behavior. There is no uptrend formation, anything like this. And in my opinion, this isn't really the greatest looking asset as of late. You know, long term, maybe, you know, as far as the lows are concerned, yeah, we're on rising lows, but that does not make it bullish from my perspective. I am going to be looking for pullbacks on this one. So, again, I'll remind you of the conditions. Any closure below 94 and a half cents, I'll be looking for a full pullback to this region, the prior low, right around 89 cents, give or take. Any closure, this is the high, boom, right here. Any closure above this high, and I'll look for extension into this little liquid zone here with a target of $1.08. And anything above $1.08, I will be targeting this resistance here at $1.21. But too much hindsight, too much downside momentum for me to be really convinced that this is going to be bullish long term right now. We need to see some you know, major price action as a result. We are in a downtrend, and you know, until proven otherwise, I'm going to be looking for more downside price action. Let's go ahead and move on. BBIG. Vinco Ventures Incorporated. Downside continuation is very, very likely. RSI structure has broken, much more confirmation than the first asset that we looked at here for the requests. We do see the exponential with that negative slope breaking through that diagonal trend line structure. We're going to go ahead and remove that. That is no longer valid. I am going to be looking for RSI to continue to, you know, to further new lows here. We did see a new low print on the RSI, but we didn't see a new low print on price action. However, again, that momentum waning to the downside is very evident of potential future price action to come here. We do see the stochastics here, again, you know, doing that little bit of that chop here, you know, faking out, rejecting the negatively sloped exponential, playing around with the midpoint right now, but we do see a firm cross of the midpoint. You know, let's get that midpoint laid out here. You know, could we potentially see some more coiling within that midpoint? Yes, yes we could, but you know, a little bit of back above it, rejection back below it. Not a good tell from my perspective for this asset. What I'm going to be looking for is this support level here, 3.93, maybe 3.95. Any closure below 3.95, I'm going to be looking for a pullback all the way to this prior high formation at $3.73 to print a new low. And if a new low is printed, a downtrend will be confirmed, and I will be looking for targets much lower, targeting the moving averages along the way. The only support that we have as far as this structure is concerned is right around $2.85. So breaking this structure and printing a new low, that could be your ultimate target for the downside as far as this asset is concerned. However, if we hold this as support and break above this resistance, $4.19, and more conservatively back above the red 10 simple, I will be targeting the upside target around $4.91. Is that likely? Not in my opinion. It's not likely in my opinion. So we'll leave B big at that one and move on. IVR. Investo Corp. Oh, breakdown. New lows printed down. I'm looking for more down. Target $3.62. Stochastics providing that momentum to the downside. I'll be looking for continuation. Stochastics actually showing a little bit of weakness to the downside, so maybe a little bit of bullish, hidden bullish divergence starts playing out, but it's not on the charts yet. It's not what I'm looking for. We do see RSI breaking the exponential to the downside. Continuation. Exponential is now negative again, confirming that lower high. Down. I'm going to be looking for targets. Green 55, cyan 89, but ultimately the target for this one is $3.62. Let's move on. Milestone Scientific. Yeah, a little bit of that pullback, consolidation. Liquid zone. Do we have an order block? Do we have an order block? Yes, I think we do. We do. Let's get it printed. Rectangle. All right. So I'm going to be looking at that order block as resistance, right? I'm going to be looking at this level here as resistance, $2.55. Any kind of candle closure above that region likely results in an explosive continuation drive all the way up to the $3 region. $3.03, give or take. Any kind of candle closure below this liquid zone, and I'm going to be looking for a top call to be confirmed with downside continuation targets of the prior high here, right around $2.25. Possibly see a higher low print here, but for now we're seeing a little bit of consolidation. We're seeing stochastics, really lift off back into the neutral zone, looking like it wants to move into the bullish control zone here. RSI is the only cause for concern here. Again, but a little bit of that pullback, a little bit of that consolidation would not be out of the question. We do see how far the RSI is diverged away from the exponential here. So a little bit of a pullback while the exponential gains more momentum to the upside for support would not be out of the question here. But again, I'm looking at that liquid box here as pretty key and pretty critical for right now. Any kind of closure above it, I'm going to be looking for moves to the upside. Any kind of closure below it, I'm going to be looking for moves to the downside. Now, to the downside does not mean a death sentence. Not at all whatsoever. Our last low was printed right here, and we haven't printed a low on this asset since the 18th of June. So, seeing a little bit of a pullback and maybe a structural higher low on the $2.25 region wouldn't be out of the question. But there's momentum. There's definitely momentum. There is a little bit of strength to be had for this asset. So, it's holding true. It's consolidating. I want to see a couple more days of price action before I make any kind of determinations. And most importantly, I want to see which side of this order block decides to break here for this one. So we'll go ahead and move on. Wish. Excuse me. Yeah, downside. Yeah, and you see, this is what I was worried about. It is a higher high. I do have to give it that. It is a higher high. We're seeing higher lows and higher highs, but that cyan 89 is being real resistance, man. The bulls weren't strong enough to break it. We saw rejection back down to the red 10 simple here. I will be looking for pullbacks all the way back down to this region as a result, right around 11 spot 78, maybe 1180. Maybe print a higher low structure along this region here before we give another attempt to that cyan 89 moving average here. But if anything closes above that cyan 89, I will be looking for a change of behavior kind of action here, as I will be looking at 15 spot 40 as the next target, and any kind of closure above that region will be confirmed change of behavior, especially if we get continuation and follow through. A little bit of evidence that this downside, the downside isn't all it's cracked up to be. The downside was made on lower than average volume here, which tells me that it took a lot less momentum to get this price action to fall the way it did than it did to bring the price action up. So, in my opinion, the bulls still have control. Stochastics in the critical zone, looking like it might start coiling out here, seeing a little bit of evidence of that downside momentum. In my opinion, it's not strong enough. It's still an uptrend, and until proven otherwise, it will remain an uptrend. And that proof otherwise will be a daily candle closure below this region here at $10.95. Any closure below that will be a change of behavior to the downside on a daily candle closing basis, and targets would extend lower. 9 spot 95 being the first target, 8 spot 50 being the second. But little hindsight trading, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for continuation. Maybe a little sell-off, print a higher low somewhere, you know, above the red 10, above the green 55, or above this support level here would not be out of the question before seeing another attempt at that cyan 89. Again, if we break that cyan 89, I will be on change of behavior alert, looking at that 15 spot $40 or 40 cent region. So as far as that one's concerned, let's move on. So many more. Holy crap. All right. CBDD. CBDD. Need some water here. CBD of Denver. Oh, consolidation, bro. Consolidation. Consolidation. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now on this chart as I get my whole life situated. Is this one a new chart? I mean, it's in a downtrend. That much is true. But we have an order block. Let's get that order block. Let's actually just get some horizontals in here first. So we do see consolidation between this price range and this price range right now. Lower low. We do have a change of behavior, but that was rejected pretty quickly, printing a top here. Bearish divergence. Yeah, I'm just looking for consolidation down, to be quite honest with you. It's ranging. I mean, I can't really go off of any kind of trend here because, in my opinion, it's not trending. It's trending to the downside, more like it. I mean, the way this change of behavior got rejected back into this liquid zone, putting downside pressure on that resistance here. I am looking for that resistance to break. However, we do see stochastics really cooled off right now. They have been cooled off for quite some time. Any breach into the critical zone, though, is going to be a big red flag. Maybe even flips to a potential, opportunity, but that's too hindsight for me to be comfortable with talking about. Right now, just pay attention to the levels. Any closure below this region here, 13 cents. God, what a shit price. Any closure below 13 cents, I will be looking for a slight pullback to this region here. The bottom side of the range, right around 12.5 cents, give or take. Numbers are really small. Any closure below there, it's just going to be further downside continuation. This being the next target, right around 10 cents, 10.5 cents. RSI really not enjoying that neutral midpoint here, rejecting that negatively sloped exponential multiple times before finally seeing a break further to the downside. This does not look healthy to me, in my opinion. Looks like a fucking bull trap, to be quite honest with you. If I'm going to be honest with you, this looks like a bull trap, basically preparing itself for further downside continuation. What does this stock look like overall? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! What the fuck? From a weekly perspective, I bet it's dog shit. Dog shit! Dog shit. It's trying, though. I have to give it that. It's trying. What is this fucking RSI read? Flatlined. Flatlined. So I'm CBD of Denver. Why is it failing? I don't understand. Pot's legal up there, right? In Colorado, pot's legal up there. Maybe it's the feds. Maybe the feds are just like, nah, give me all your money. Fuck your stock. I mean, at the end of the day, I would not personally be trading this. This is dog shit. Look at that white. Look at that white 200, man. On a weekly, just choppy as shit. I've never seen so much chop in my life. From a weekly perspective, I mean, it looks bearish even from a weekly perspective. But then again, we got this nasty pump to the upside after looking extremely bearish on a weekly, for what looks like half a year. right in this region here in 2020, and then boom on the weekly chart. So I mean, you know, I could be wrong. We could just be consolidating down to the lowest possible moving average before basically ripping to the upside. Yeah, this one basically consolidated, tested lower, you know, blue 377 here, purple 200 moving average before really launching to the upside. So I could be wrong, but the way the technicals are talking to me, it's talking to me with a bearish mentality. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that one. Let's go ahead and move on here. G-Nuss. Start with a fresh chart here. Testing that green 55 real heavy right now. Testing that green 55 real heavy right now. So what am I looking for? Yeah, bearish divergence likely hasn't played out all the way. Second lower high confirmed. This is a downtrend. Well, it'll be a downtrend confirmed if we see the one spot 80 region break to the downside, just below the green 55 here. If I do see that region break, I am going to be looking for much further continuation, potentially to this order block region here or this consolidation zone, somewhere in this region right here, just in this little box here, anywhere from 159 to 155, somewhere in that ballpark would be the next target to the downside. Again, a new low printing. This is an uptrend. It has been confirmed an uptrend, but it's not looking so uppy anymore. A lower high has been confirmed. I will be looking for downside, to be quite honest with you. We do see exponential evidence on this, with the exponential of the stochastics being rejected by stochastics, looking like it's rejecting that midpoint, and that's kind of your tell. Hey, you know, we're rejecting the midpoint. We're failing to get reclaim that bullish momentum. It's obvious that the bears want to start having control of this asset to the downside, and to the downside it may come. Let's see if we have any kind of 3-point. We do have a 3-point possibility for the stochastics here, but anything below the 4250 read here is going to be invalidated from my perspective. That won't be valid, and that likely correlates with a break of this one spot 81 region and a full pullback to either the top or the bottom of this little range here, being the next target to the downside. Now, if we decide to pop up from the green 55, any closure above yesterday's open, 193 likely results in a low call being called, and I would look for extension back up to the prior high at $2.03. Maybe a little higher, but it's not looking that way, you guys. It's not looking that way. Let's go ahead and move on. Hall of Fame. I've actually not looked at this one because I'm a long-term investor on that one. Like, you know, I'm throwing money in there, you know, every chance that I can, for the hopes that the stock goes batshit crazy over the next 10 years. And does some crazy shit, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and do some analysis on it, though. I actually have my own chart. Ooh, really taking a turn here. Looking bearish as fuck, to be quite honest with you. Double top, double top, double top, double top, double top, double top. Double tops typically play out in a bearish fashion. I am going to be looking for further extension pullback all the way down to the $3.82 region. Took out a low. Printing new lows on this is a concern for the Hall of Fame. Again, I would be looking for this region here as a test. $3.82, $3.83. Any candle closure below that, I'm going to be looking for re-entry into the order block here, this consolidation range here, and look for a test all the way back down to 3.62. And that's kind of where I'm leaving it. Any kind of pump and reversal would be very nice to see, but again, the evidence is not showing me that. Look at that decline here. You know, looking at a little bit of a pump up, rejection, back down. You know, diving deeper into the bullish control zone here. RSI printing that bearish divergence call, forcing the exponential back to a negative stature, taking out two lows on the RSI. Not a good sign for the Hall of Fame. You know, structure's broken. You know, if you wanted to look at that as an uptrend structure, that structure is broken from an RSI perspective. Not looking like the picture of health and fitness. Dropped almost 10% today. So Sorry for the NFL, sorry for Canton, but it looks like maybe we see some more downside continuation, unless we're looking for structural higher highs. In that case, the last one was here. So maybe I could consider this one a low too, but it's not printed on the RSI. You know, maybe? No, it doesn't look right. It doesn't work. If it doesn't look right, it's not going to work for me. Yeah, I don't have any upside conditions here. Just further downside continuation for the Hall of Fame, unfortunately. I didn't want to see that. Fuck you, whoever put Hall of Fame as a request, you ass. I didn't want to see that shit. I don't want to see my assets lose 10%, dick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. If you took offense to that, I don't really give a shit. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, that's it for the Hall of Fame. More downside. I'm going to be looking for more downside on this one, to be quite honest with you. The technical indicators all line up for more downside. Everything is you know, locked and loaded in the chamber, looking for downside continuation for that one. So, all right, ISR is not the long-term one. ISO Ray Incorporated. Let's see what's going on. More consolidation. More consolidation. Although I don't like this lower high call, to be quite honest with you. And I don't like that we're rejecting the neutral zone here. It does look like the bears want to take control. We do have a higher low, so that is something to be aware of. We could see another higher low print, but that's not what it's looking like for me. Looking more like a little bit of a dead heartbeat before it wants to come to the downside a little more. Again, this is, you know, a downside continuation. I know we got a high call here. That is not a structural high. I'm looking at this high here in correlation with this high here, and this is a lower high, followed by another lower high. You know, more lower highs, more lower highs, more and more and more lower highs. The last two highs, though, to be quite honest with you, were above the technical last lower high, or the last low high here. So there is a little bit of side for the bulls. We do see momentum starting to wane on the stochastics here. I do like that signal. I want to see continuation as a result. I want to see price action back above this high at 83 cents, 83 and a half cents, 83.65. And I also want to see RSI reclaim that positively sloped exponential. It still is positive, I do believe. No, it's negative. I want to see it reclaimed if I'm going to have any bullish sentiment. But we do see, look at all this price action between the midpoint and the top side of the bearish control zone. That's very, very, very evident that the bears want control of this. And until I see that midpoint here taken out in correlation with a new high, at the very least, back above the green 55, and most importantly, back above 93 cents, I'm going to be looking at the bears to remain in control until proven otherwise. But for now, we are consolidating, and it's gonna remain consolidating until the following conditions are met. Any kind of candle closure below 75 cents, 75 and a half cents, I'm going to be looking for downside price action movement to 71 cents, and likely further lower. And on the flip side here, this is the pivot, 96 cents. We'll just call it a buck, round it up. Anything above a buck, I'm going to be convinced that there is a change of behavior and that this trend is ready to flip to the upside. But until I see that condition met, I'm just going to be looking for more consolidation between this low point here and this high point here. Actually, we'll go ahead and modify that high point to this region here. So boom, 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 consolidation. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So now let's get into some long-term stuff forward. So we're going to do some long-term analysis here, right? We're going to hide. Yeah, I mean, I'm bullish long-term. Definitely bullish long-term. Change behavior. Lots of change of behaviors from a long-term perspective. Yeah. Let's get some weekly shits. Now, what do I want to see from a weekly perspective? Actually, let's clear this chart. From a weekly perspective, obviously, I want to see this taken out. I want to see new candle closures on this region at 15.95. Anything above that, and I will look for weekly continuation to what point? Actually, I would prefer a close above the wick high on this one, $16.45. Any closure above $16.45 on a weekly chart, I'm going to be looking for extension long term all the way back up to this region here. Now, is this all-time high? It is not. It is not all-time high. This was actually pretty choppy. Technically, in a weekly uptrend with rising lows here, But that's on the aggressive side. I play conservative. I want to see higher highs. So the way this is reacting, I want to see it break out. To be quite honest with you, and until I see it break out, I'm going to be looking at everything to the upside with resistance goggles. Although the momentum oscillators definitely prove the point for bullish control here. Basically, consolidating a little bit above the weekly bottom side of the bullish control zone. Exponentials flatlined. Let's look at the daily. Let's see what we have. I am bullish, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, hitting that resistance ceiling. Looking a little bit choppy, to be quite honest with you. Looking like it does want to come down. If I'm being perfectly honest, we have a lower high confirmed. No, we have a higher high confirmed. We have a higher high. Look at that. We have a higher high confirmed. This is a high? What the fuck? Where do you get this being a high? Holy shit. That's why I like crypto so much. The cryptos, it's so easy to read, but maybe it consolidates a little bit more. But what I want to see most importantly is a close above 15.55 for continuation to this region here at 15.96. But again, from a long-term perspective, I'm looking for 16.45 to be taken out on a daily candle closure basis, and most importantly, a weekly candle closing basis for me to be convinced that this is going to continue long-term to the upside. Now, as far as the daily is concerned, bearish divergence calls, stochastics cooling down without really seeing a major break of structure. Not a bad thing. Maybe seeing RSI consolidate between the 65 read and the 50 read is what we want to see for a little while longer, while momentum oscillators, especially the stochastics, begins to cool down before we see a launch to the upside. But for now, yeah, consolidation. I'm looking for more consolidation, and from the long-term perspective, yeah, I do have to be bullish long-term. I have no reason not to be bullish, closing above all major moving averages, potentially looking for a new higher low structure from a weekly perspective. But again, I need to see this level here at the very least, 15.55 taken out on a weekly candle closing basis before I start calling out potential continuation to the upside. But again, most importantly, I want to see a closure above the wick high, 16.45. That's what we're going to call it. Any candle closure above that region, I will look for long-term extension all the way up to 17.75. However, on the flip side, any closure below 14.45, and I'll look for a pullback all the way to the red 10 simple. Now, that would not be a death sentence, in my opinion, for this asset. Even lower than that would not be a death sentence, in my opinion, for this asset. So long as we remain above this prior low here on a weekly, we are going to remain bullish unless we take out that low, and that's 11.55, the 11.50 low here. If we do see that taken out at any point, won't be fucking bullish anymore. That'll be for sure. It'll be evidence of change of behavior and a downtrend likely in formation. But lots of hindsight trading for that one. We're doing long term, and long term I do believe this one sees continuation to the upside. Let's go ahead and move on. This stream has been going for over an hour. I do want to wrap it up. CCIV. I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. I cannot provide long-term analysis for this. I can only provide what I have available. And what I have available is not long-term. What I have available now, yeah, is a breakout. It is technically a breakout. Depends on where that high was printed. A little bit of an order block right here. That much is true. Yeah, I'll be looking for continuation, to be quite honest with you, especially if we see a candle closure back above 27 and a half bucks. And if that condition is met, I'll be looking for continuation all the way up to this region here at 31.42. I do like the way stochastics is set up right now. Nice rejection off that midpoint here. That is your tell that bulls are still in control, and I would still be looking for bullish momentum to play out here. RSI. Nice little low print. RSI's exponential is positive. Looking at that pullback as potential test of the positively sloped exponential. Again, I am going to be looking for more highs, but more importantly, I want to see more highs in correlation with RSI printing higher highs, because if we see more highs with lower highs confirming on RSI, bearish divergence likely starts playing out, and that would be a tell of more downside price action. But we are in an uptrend, and the trend is your friend until the end. But from a an extremely long point, a long-term standpoint, can't do it. Literally, I can't do it. I cannot provide you any analysis. I can't even provide you a bullshit opinion because I have none. Only because this asset's only been alive since October of 2020. Not enough time history. Not even a year old for this asset just yet. I hope I didn't disappoint you on CCIV. I gave you my daily analysis. I do think there is continuation in the books for this one, but from a long-term, investment trading strategy, I have no opinion. PYPL. I have a feeling this is going to be the same. No, PayPal. That one has a lot of history. Long-term, fucking bullish. What? Bullish. Closing above all major moving averages here. I'm going to be bullish long-term until that condition changes. Slew of lower, higher highs and higher lows. Change of behavior on the daily. Closing back above this region was a very powerful move for PayPal here. That is evidence of change of behavior. We did get that, one drive here, lower high. We didn't get the lower lows though. That's the thing though. We're always on rising lows, which is your tell that any kind of dumpy dump action and not closing on new lows is your tell of upside continuation. Now, technically this one closed on new lows from this point here, but ever since that region, we've been seeing upside price action. Things will get real exciting if we close above $306, 306. Yeah, 306. Give or take a few bucks. Any closure above that region. Fibs. We're going to have to get Fibs involved for that one. Let's go ahead and bust that bitch out. See what it says. Any closure above this region here, 306. Maybe we'll just call it 306 bucks. I will be looking for extension to new all-time highs at the 1.272 Fibonacci extension zone, right around 330 bucks. Seeing a pullback would not be out of the question, but this one looks pretty straightforward from my perspective here. We do have a couple of zones to be aware of, but nothing too critically important. Right now, I'm just looking for continuation as stochastics, again, coiling up in the critical zone. That's your tell that this is just absolutely bullish and looking to continue to be bullish. A little bit of a top call here on the RSI, a little bit of a back test. Not out of the question to see even a breach below the bullish control zone to test that exponential alongside price action testing the red 10 simple. Wouldn't be out of the question, but this asset long-term is fucking bullish. Bullish. Again, from a weekly perspective, any closure above 306, that's going to be catatonic. Long-term. Long-term Fibonacci's suggest that the 1.272 leads to the $432 region for PayPal if we see a weekly closure above $305. That would likely result in RSI breaching back into the bullish control zone here, forcing the exponential to be further positive to the upside. Stochastics, a little bit of a 2 point. Oh shit, that's not the right one, buddy. A little bit of a 2 point uptrend here. Again, I don't really put too much weight on 2 points because technically, this 2 point broke structure, but what you have is what I'm going to go with. And we do have a nice rejection of the bearish neutral zone back into the bullish neutral zone. Looking for entry of the bullish control zone would be a result of seeing price action likely continuing above $305 on a weekly candle closing basis. Again, above all major moving averages, above all major moving averages on almost every time frame here. Definitely bullish. I can't be bearish on this. So from a long-term perspective, I'm looking up, man. I'm looking to the moon. And I think that's going to do it for this live stream, you guys. PayPal looks good. Everything looks good except for fucking cryptocurrencies and a couple of the shittier charts that I looked at today. But lots of money to be made. And if you guys like the stream, please hit that subscribe button. Please join the channel. Please come in, be a part of the community. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tick that little bell for more content. I do plan on creating more instructional videos at a future date. I'm just trying to piece together what I want to teach people. So be patient. We will have more videos. I do promise you that. And until next time, guys, stay